Jake here for American Muscle, and today I'm taking a look at the lightweight Racer rear seat delete kit for 2015 and newer Mustang Fastbacks. Weight is the enemy of your car's performance, and if you're going for the quickest quarter mile or lap time, then ditching some unnecessary weight will prove extremely helpful in that endeavor. And what better place to start than with these rear seats? This is an inexpensive, bolt-in solution that's going to save you weight and provide a clean look inside the cabin of your car. This is a direct replacement for the rear seat in your S550. It's going to end up saving you about 30 pounds worth of weight in the process. It provides you with a clean, unobstructed look in the back with a flat surface where the seat bottom used to be. Now, since this is flat and your Mustang stock seats have a little bit of that curve to them, you're going to get a little bit of extra storage space underneath of this panel. So in case you want to utilize that for stereo equipment or something else, you've got a little extra space there. Now, these panels are not designed to hold a person, but they are rated for up to 100 pounds of load on each side. So that's 100 pounds on the bottom and 100 pounds on the back. So these are perfect if you want some extra space to haul stuff. You can put a bag or maybe a spare wheel or some tools if you're headed to the track. Whatever you can think of, so long as it's less than 100 pounds on here, it's not going to be an issue. Now, both of the panels here are constructed from ABS plastic, hence their lightweight and their strength. So this particular setup is not carpeted, but it is still finished in this textured black, so it's going to blend in well with the other plastic trim pieces on the interior, and it's going to add a minimal amount of weight back into the car versus just yanking the stock seats out. And it also just looks overall very clean. Now, of course, you could run your car with no rear seats at all, but this is going to give it a much cleaner, much more permanent solution rather than just taking the seats out. Pricing is going to come in at about $325, making this one the least expensive rear seat delete kit on the market for the S550. Now, you could go ahead and make something like this yourself, but it's not necessarily going to be as lightweight, well constructed, or as easy as this one, so I really think that this is kind of a no-brainer. Plus, you can just take it out of the box and put it in. Speaking of which, let's talk about the installation for a moment, and that is going to get a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter. You should plan on this taking you about 2 hours to install. Now, that installation process is not complicated, but you are going to have to take some time to undo your seats and other trim pieces like your seat belts and those side panels in order to get this fitted properly. But you do get new hardware included in the kit too, so you've got everything you need to make this look nice and neat and clean once you've got it done. And with that, let's head over to the install bay where we'll show you the process.
The tools you'll need for this project are an impact gun or 1/2-inch ratchet, a 15mm socket, a power ratchet or regular 3/8 ratchet, a short extension, a 4mm Allen head, and a 6mm Allen head. Hi everyone. Today we're installing a rear seat delete kit in our Mustang, but before we can do that, we've got to get the old seats out first. So the first thing we need to do is remove the bottom half of the rear seat. It's a pretty simple process, so let's go ahead and get started and we'll get that out. So to remove this bottom half of the seat, what you have to do is push in and lift up on both sides of the front of the seat, and then you can just slide the seat itself out. All right, now we're ready to remove the seat backs. And to do that, we've got a center bolt that has to come out, and then 2 nuts, 1 on each side for the hinges for the back of the seat. And we'll take those out using our 15mm socket. Now this center bolt, when we take it out, we will be reusing that when we put in the bottom for the seat delete. So don't lose that one. Now we can get the 2 nuts on the outside of the seat back for the hinges. Now I know the camera angle is a little rough to get in here, but it's right on the outside of this hinge here. So just put your socket on that. And it should come right out. Now we'll move over to the passenger side. And now we should be able to just lift these straight up off of the bolts and remove it from the hinge. And pop them out. And these 2 slots here are going to fit right over the latches for the seat locks. So now let's go ahead and get this put in. All right, now we'll just put this into place over those hooks. And the kit also comes with these 2 little twist locks that you can insert here and just twist them up, and that'll lock them into place. And do that for both sides. Now, once we've got that in place, there's one more panel that's included, and it goes in between the 2 twist locks. So you just put in one side here, bend it a little bit to fit inside the latch here, and snap it into place. All right, now we're ready to install the bottom piece. And you notice that there's 2 indentations here, one on each side. This is the one that's going to go towards the back of the vehicle. And then these 3 holes here, one here and one on the end, are going to go over the hinges for your seat back. And this is going to use the center bolt that we talked about earlier. Now we're going to want to slide this bottom piece underneath the back piece here, so just lift it up a little bit. Slide it over the studs. Then we can loosely install our center bolt, and then there are 2 small barrel nuts that go on either end of this bottom piece. So we're just going to loosely attach those as well, because we still got some work to do in the front. You may need to use your 6mm Allen head to tighten those down. And we'll do the same thing for the driver's side. All right, now we need to install our toggle bolt into these front holes here and one on the other side. So we're going to put our bolt in, and then we're going to attach the toggle nut just far enough so that this bolt is actually in to the end of it. All right, once we've got it in, we can go ahead and insert it into the hole. And then turn it around so that the toggle is facing front and rear on the vehicle. All right, and we just snap it into place. And then just make sure that you twist it so that it's facing front and rear. And then we can go ahead and tighten those down using a 4mm Allen head wrench. Now we can tighten down our 2 barrel nuts using our 6mm Allen head wrench. Now we'll tighten our center bolt with our 15mm socket. And our last step, install this push pin in this front hole right here in the middle and snap it down. And that wraps up our review and install of the lightweight rear seat delete kit for 15 and newer Mustang Fastbacks. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.